It's another beautiful weekend, and it's time again for TVC's look of trending national issues standpoint, where we dissect issues without sentiment. I am Dapo Aruajoy. 2019 is a year that the political elite are looking up to. Our politicians are stylishly getting ready for the upcoming general election, which will hold in the next 2 years. But early this week, former President Goodluck Jonathan suddenly regained his political voice. He said that the People's Democratic Party will bounce back into power, say 2019. He seems to have forgotten that his party is yet to be in order. Our PDP is still factionalized, if you know, and that is if you see any card-carrying member today, is either of the Alimodu Sheriff or Ahmed McAfee faction. Just yesterday, Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt ruled that the caretaker committee headed by Senator Ahmed McAfee is illegal and cannot act on behalf of the People's Democratic Party. And meanwhile, in Lagos, 6 members of the PDP in the Lagos State House of Assembly on Thursday defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Do you see any possibility of the party, talking about PDP now, clinching victory with this gale of defections? And what does this gale of defections mean to the progress of the APC as a party? In the studio today, we'll be looking at these issues and how healthy they are for democracy. You can also join the conversation by calling in when the phone lines are open. My name is Dakbo Aruajoye. We need to go on a short break now, and when we return, I will introduce my guest. Stay tuned. So welcome back. In the studio today, I will be introducing the Chief Whip of the Lagos State House of Assembly. That's Honorable Lateef Rotimi Abiru, who's representing Shomolu Constituency 2, and also the Chairman, Ethics, Privileges and Protocols. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Dr.
All right then. Let me start with my first question, and that is, of recent, according to my intro, I said 6 members of the PDP defected to the All Progressives Congress. How did you feel? I know you're still basking in the euphoria, I must say, but how did you feel? Let me take it from there.
Well, I feel great, because what we have seen them do is a testimony to the good governance we have in Lagos. 5 of them actually did a letter officially to the Right Honorable Speaker, informing us through the Speaker of their decision. And then when the letter was read, despite their clear intentions, the Speaker also allowed each of these members to address the House. And for various reasons, they felt it was time for them to leave the PDP.
Are you felt convinced with their reasons?
Well, clearly, because one, they adduced, which is a statement of fact, that governance in Lagos State is quite unique. They've seen the performance of the governor in the area of health, in the area of education, in the area of infrastructural development, And particularly, one of them said, he chairs the House Committee on Establishment, Training and Pensions. And of course, he has empirical facts that Lagos State is not even owing pensioners either in arrears or, and he said for these reasons, he feels that would like to be part of us. Now, the other one who represents Ushodi constituency, the non-indigenous amongst us.
Is it Mecca?
Yes.
Okay.
He said that the developmental projects of governor, that they've really benefited in their constituency, and that this government has not treated him with any kind of bias. And his people have been longing to be part of this success story, and he also decided to move. And, again, outside of this, the opposition party is in disarray. you know. I mean, there is clear infighting amongst different factions within the PDP. And just yesterday, the Court of Appeal ruled in favor of one of the factions. Now, for a party that has not actually gotten its acts together, that is, you know, that has a lot of issues, you know, that does not really pay attention to its members. Like some of them said that ever since they won elections, that the party never officially called them together to even congratulate them, and you know, despite all that they went through. And of course, what is paramount to them is, you know, is the people of Lagos, because during politicking, talk of party, once government is actually formed, we look at the interest of our constituents. That should be what, you know,
Paramount.
I mean, that is what should be paramount. Again, for the leadership of the House of Assembly, you know, led by the Right Honorable Speaker, you know, he's been quite magnanimous, you know, sometimes to a fault. Because, you know, it is good for us to be very patient and learn. You know, loyalty is very key in the parliament, you know. And then when we started out, you know, some members of APC were even complaining, you know, not realizing, you know, that this thing will actually go around everybody. You know, of course, the PDP members, they have members of committees, good committees of the House, they chair some committees of the House, you know, and they've equally been very cooperative, you know. I appreciate their level of intelligence. I mean, ditto for the other members in the House of Assembly, you know. So they felt it was time for them to take the decision which they feel would further enhance, you know, service delivery to their people.
But what happens to ideology, if I may put it? But because if you're in the shoes, apparently you stand for something, really, because as a party, you should stand for something, maybe the ideology, the manifesto. So what happens to ideology now? Are they going to change their views from that, whatever they were, to a progressive view now? If you get what are they going to share your own ideology?
Well, definitely. I mean, they know we are progressives in the APC, and we've ever been, you know. I mean, they must have been convinced of some of our ideologies in the party, some of the manifesto of the party, you know. And don't forget, you know, for various reasons, people join different political parties, you know. And once you are not getting the feel, you know, once you're not getting, I mean, you're not seeing people aligning, you know, with your, you know, and don't forget, there's freedom of association.
There is.
You know, yes, today you may feel this way, and the next minute, I mean, you could, you know.
That's politically in this climb that happens. But in like UK, America, is it that you're Democrat? If you get what I mean, that doesn't happen like that in Nigeria. Why is it that politicians are like that?
You see, what we have in Nigeria is an emerging democracy.
Okay.
You know, those countries we've mentioned have actually practiced democracy for quite some time. And I'm very sure that at some point, I mean, they must have found themselves in the situation that, I mean, we are right now. You know, I'm sure as we entrench democracy in Nigeria, you know, and for the fact that we are, I mean, the government of the day is trying to fix, you know, some of the issues, you know, some of the challenges that we have as a people. You know, I'm sure if the economy peaks, I mean, there's like to be contentment in people. You know, and as we go along, you know, I'm sure the processes by which you know, people get into political offices, you know, I mean, will be more accommodating for lots and lots of people, you know, who indeed have the interest of their community in mind. I mean, will take up such positions, you know. But as we are today, I mean, the processes, you know, are quite challenging, you know, and, you know, so I think it's a matter of time. We will get there, you know, because we keep learning, you know, and you will agree with me that it has been improving over time.
All right. And again, what about opposition? Because, you know, it makes democracy healthy, really. It serves as a checkmate to other parties. What do you think about opposition? How many people are in the opposition now in the Lagos State House of Assembly?
Well, when we started out, there were 8, but with what happened on the floor of the House on Thursday, 6 of them have actually come over to the ruling party.
So I have just 2.
You know, so we have just 2 of them left there, you know.
Well, will those voices be loud enough in the House of Assembly?
Well, they have all the rights, you know, to make, you know, I mean, to say whatever they decide to say. Well, of course, whatever you say in the parliament, you know, has to conform with the rules that govern us in there. Of course, when there are issues, you have the opportunity to air your views. But again, in the parliament, I mean, it's a game of numbers. You know, minority will have their say, but the majority will always have their way. You know, well, of course, despite the fact that I mean, that a lot of us are from the APC, it does not mean that we do. I mean, we are not likely to have the same thoughts, the same ideas on issues. You know, so I mean, when you look, I mean, when you watch our proceedings, I mean, you see the robustness of our discussion. And this is just to let you know that, yes, you have the right to your views. But whatever it is a house of 40. I mean, whatever the opinion of the majority of the members are, I mean, once a decision has been taken, it is binding on all of us, irrespective of your personal views. You know, but of course, no one is actually, you know, hindered, you know, in you expressing yourself. So it is for you at all times to be up and doing, you know, because of course we come from different constituencies, and the issues with our constituencies differ from one to the other.
Yes.
You know, and then what is paramount is for you to represent your people. You know, I mean, you are actually their voice in government. Of course, they come up with so many infrastructural requests, you know, from government. Of course, you need to lobby government to get these things done. Well, of course, we have actually evolved a process in the House of Assembly by which periodically we meet with our constituents, you know, through a town hall meeting, you know, and then we will take inputs from them as to what they think, you know, away from what government thinks. I mean, what they think will better their community, will better serve the people. And of course, this town hall meeting we hold in all the constituencies on the same day. You know, it's a program of the House of Assembly.
Yes. And
we take inputs from them. We collate them, and we send this to the governor, you know, for implementation. You know, at least some of these projects, you know, some of these requests. And of course, some of them might have been in the thinking of the executive too, you know.
Yes.
And, you know, these are some of the things that make up the budget of the state, you know, and that is the ideology behind the governance in Lagos State. It's like an all-inclusive kind of government. I mean, government just don't sit back in Alausa and read out policies, read out programs and stuff, you know. Even the executive too, the governor, of course, you'll be aware that he organizes town hall meetings, that he goes, meets with the people, and right there and then, you know, he takes input from them. And of course, from what you can see going on in Lagos, I'm sure you can see a real transformation going on in Lagos.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and
it's evident.
It is evident because I mean, when you move around, you see construction work going on, and you know, these are things that adds value. You know, look at the traffic improvement program of the state.
I know.
You know, and you know, these are You know, things that look very simple,
but
solving a huge
problem. A
you
huge
get
problem.
I mean,
can I quickly take our first call? I told you we'll be receiving calls.
No problem.
Is it Okbaifa? What's the name again? Sorry. Olaifa from Ikorodu.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm able to bring this call. My contribution to the program, especially with regard to the PDP members that deflected, that defected to
APC.
From the two of you that are communicating together over there, we discovered that that defection is unhealthy for our politics.
Okay. Why did you say so?
It's just unfortunate that you know, the honorable beside you have already made the point that our democracy is developing. Ordinarily, people that voted for them to come to the House of Assembly believe in the principle of PDP. You discover that Lagos State is for APC, generally we know that. Majority believe in APC.
Yes.
But we still believe we have a group of people who believe that PDP policy, they are okay with it. That's why that generality believe that Lagos is working.
Yes.
So those people are actually being, they've actually been disappointed.
Yes, I get what I get what you mean. Thank you so much. Let me take it from there and give it to the honorable, because where is going to now? You know, your position in the House of Assembly, it must be a very observant position. The chief whip, chairman, ethics, privileges and protocol is not easy. I know, but being observant, really, will you put it down to, because we've noticed of recent, we discovered because of a merger that brought up APC. Some people will argue that's the problem we have now in the country today, because some people have still got their ideologies hidden somewhere in their heart. And that's why you see what is going on maybe in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, because for some months we had in-house fight, which is looking like it's solved now. Do you think all this will not happen in Lagos, because he had it smooth? But people coming in now will want their voices to be heard, and they will now feel, okay, all men are equal here, so why don't I just, you know, that's even scattering something, if you get, am I making sense?
Well, if I understand what you have just said, you know, long before, I mean, even before now, you know, the House of Assembly of Lagos has almost been a monoparty parliament.
Okay.
But of course, this does not mean that we're not doing well in the House of Assembly.
Yes.
You get? Yes, in the 6th Assembly, I think we had 3 members. I mean, we've never had opposition in the House of Assembly. You know, but for the 8th Assembly, we had quite a number of them. You know. But of course, a member will not ordinarily cross or defect to another party if he or she has not consulted well with his people.
Yes.
Now, it is about good governance. It's about good governance and the dividend of democracy to the people. You understand? Everybody has his own fundamental rights, in which there's freedom of associate, to associate. You know, but beyond that, you know, it is the interest of your people that really matters. You know, as long as you have, you have their support, why not?
It's a move.
And of course, there's also a process by which a member can be recalled.
Yes.
You know, so if your supporters, strongly feels, you know, well, of course, that really happens, you know, in this part of the world. You know, so I actually don't see what has happened as something that, that has never happened before. It's a matter of choice.
No matter of choice.
Now, beyond that, the ruling party, from your intro, you know, the center is no longer holding there.
We'll go to that soon.
You
Can
know?
I quickly take Solomon? Solomon, good afternoon from Surulere.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
How are you, sir?
How is today, sir?
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Please, I would love to contribute to your program.
Okay.
I love your program and I pray too.
Thank you so much. Even that one you said enough was even enough. Thank you. Try and call back, Solomon. Thank you so much. And again, we're talking about the center not holding, but the president of recent said, I mean the former president, ex-president,
I beg your pardon.
the ex-president, good Lord Jonathan, yes, was saying that the PDP will bounce back in 2019. They're winning because they're getting it right now, because he was speaking to, I think, delegates then, and he was telling them, okay, to change this whole thing, let's get ex-officials of the party to be part of the delegates, so we don't have what's it called, imposition, which is major problem they're facing now. But if they get this straight, they're taking over from the APC. Does this sound like a shocker to you?
Is it referring to Bayelsa State or to
Nigeria? It's taking over Nigeria.
Well, I think that would be a tall order. You know, because we have witnessed PDP government in Nigeria in the past 16 years, you know, and obviously we all can tell the story of their government, you know, and from what we see today, I'm not sure the Nigerians will be ready to go back into dark ages. Is it the level of corruption that took place under the nose of the former president?
They said, well, they're claiming all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Even the APC members, some of them are found to be corrupt also. That's the argument.
Yes, you know, that is subjective, you know. But the issue here is that the man at the helms of affairs, you know, the buck stops on his table.
You're talking of President Muhammadu Buhari?
No, the former president.
The former president, okay.
Ditto for the issue of security, you know, and of course, I mean, lack of direction. I'm not sure that Nigerians will be ready
to face that again.
I mean, for such government. Again, it is one thing for him to, I mean, he has the right to express whatever views he holds. But the reality on ground, I mean, does that really make any, I mean, on what platform does he want to actualize this that he has said?
But sometimes can I quickly take Adediran from Magboro, and I'll come back to you.
Please,
good afternoon, Adediran.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Can I contribute?
Yeah, contribute. I'm waiting for you. We are waiting for you.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, you're live. Adediran, you're live. Continue with your thought.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my contribution is about, you are discussing about the presence of some member to the House of Lagos State House Assembly.
Yes. From APC, from PDP to APC.
Yes. The PDP cannot play opposition.
Why did you say so?
They can't play opposition. If they can play opposition, just because they lose election in 2015, you can see they cannot hold themselves.
But the former president, good Lord Jonathan, said they are going to win back in 2019. What makes you think?
Leave that one. Who is going to vote for them in 2019? Is it the misgovernance for 16 years? Is it the looting everything we see?
Is that what you reckon?
Who is going to vote for them?
Okay.
We are feeling good governance in Lagos State. And that is why those guys defected to APC. And nobody forced them. Nobody forced them. You, the journalists who help the society. Okay. Don't be saying that some people say they are prosecuting only the PDP. If I did not participate in looting, will anybody arrest me?
That's true talk. Thank you so much, Adediran. Okay. Okay, we need to go on a short break. When we'll come back, I know there's more there. We'll continue with that soon. Don't go anywhere, please. Okay, welcome back. You're still watching Standpoint, and I still have Honorable Lateef Rotimi Abiru, the Chief Whip of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Chairman, Ethics, Privileges, and Protocols. Thank you for staying with us, please.
Thank you very much.
But we need to take these reports of our correspondent that will give us a better detail happenings of what is going on in the PDP and the latest judgment also.
Two male justices, led by Justice B.A. Sanga, said due process wasn't followed in the decision by the PDP convention in 2016 to dissolve the Ali Modu Sharif's led chairmanship and hence should be disregarded. While the female judge, Justice Teresa Orji Abadua, upheld the decision of the trial court. The McCarthy faction wasted no time in convening a press briefing to articulate his faction's position on the matter. The interim caretaker committee chairman of his own faction believes the ruling is a mere setback.
The party will meet latest by Monday. All governors have been put on notice. National Assembly members have been put on notice. State chapter chairman, board of trustees, everybody that belongs to the organ of the party has been put on notice, and they are all looking forward to a meeting within the next 2 or 3 days to review the situation.
Reacting to the possibility that the Sharif faction, acting on this ruling, could proceed to take possession of the party's national secretariat, Senator McCarthy says he'll be surprised if security agents allowed it.
When we got the Port Harcourt judgment, they didn't allow us to take over the secretariat. Now, if the Court of Appeal has made a decision, overturning that judgment, that's not the end of litigation.
And as he briefed journalists, news filtered in from Abuja, where the party's board of trustees of the McCarthy faction had indicated its decision to proceed to the Supreme Court. When asked to harmonize this, Senator McCarthy says he must first submit his own personal views to the party's democratic process.
The Governors Forum, on behalf of governors, spoke in Abuja and announced that we were heading to the Supreme Court. They are entitled to say so. As chairman caretaker committee, I will not take a unilateral decision. As I've said, the meeting has been called, and when we go for that meeting, whatever is the decision at that meeting, it will be the decision of the party.
In November, the Court of Appeal sacked Jimo Ibrahim as the candidate of the PDP for the Ondo governorship election, reinstating Eyitayo Jegede as the authentic candidate of the PDP and boosting the morale of the McCarthy faction. In August, Justice Okon Abang of the Abuja High Court ordered the suspension of the PDP National Convention, granting the prayers of the Sharif faction. A few hours earlier, a federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt had validated the exercise. These are just a few out of the flurry of court judgments trailing the PDP leadership tussle. Bukola Samuel Wemimo, TVC News, Kaduna.
Welcome back. There you are. Though the PDP, the McCarthy faction says they will have to go to the Supreme Court. But this is going on, it has been going on for a while now. It was then that we had the Edo election. PDP lost there. It was then they had the Ondo election. Still there, they lost. They have some other elections around the corner. The PDP will argue is because of the infighting. That's why they're losing. They're not concentrating. And is this going to be healthy for our democracy? I've asked once. If you have the PDP not concentrating, who's going to be the voice of opposition that will checkmate this government now?
Anyway, as the 2019 election moves closer, of course in Nigeria, we're not a two-party state in Nigeria. I mean, we have quite a number of registered political parties. We have the Labour Party, and the rest of them. For the PDP, they are the major opposition party as it stands today.
But are they living up to that expectation? That's what I'm saying.
Of course, it's a house that is divided against itself. That is actually what we are seeing right now. The only person or the people that I see, that champions opposition government in Nigeria today, are the governors of Ekiti State and the governor of Rivers State. But of course, sometimes it should be seen as some of the statements they utter, are their personal thoughts, not that of the party. But the party as a whole, their voice is not being heard. And of course, that should be expected. Because when there's a tussle, there are factions that are in court. We've been getting conflicting judgments from the lower courts. Now, at some point, they may want to believe the McCarthy-led faction. At some point, they may want to believe the Modu Sheriff-led faction. And of course, it's not likely that they can be saying the same thing.
No.
So now, who do we see as, it's not our business. We have the judiciary there to help look into their issues. Now, they are the appeal court. And they just gave a judgment yesterday. And from the report just saying now, the party is yet to take a decision. Despite, their governors have said something, the party has not taken a decision on their next line of action. But most likely, they might pursue this matter at the Supreme Court. Now, I do not know how long this matter, how long it would take the Apex Court to decide on this matter.
What about this argument that, because we were talking about it, you said is objective, but maybe you want to repeat it, because we're saying some people will argue that all these that is coming up, though I've said it wasn't APC, it was Fayose. He said himself that he invited Sheriff to become the chairman of that party. But people are saying Ali Modu Sheriff is planted by the APC to derail the PDP so as not to have a voice. Because they are saying all these judgments, the judgments, you see, maybe it's the handwork of the APC. Because Reno Kiri, Omokri, what's his name again? He comes out once in a while tweeting these things, and you need to digest them once in a while. What do you think?
Well, I think those statements are careless, because Adebodu Sheriff is no longer a card-carrying member of the APC. Yes, at some point he was within the fold. But he just said now that he was invited over, and I'm sure he must have thought of his planned move at that time very well. He's no longer a card-carrying member of the APC. He's now a member of the PDP, and it's clear that is not under question. I am not sure that some of these things that you have just said can be substantiated. Out of hate, out of anger, they could say whatever they want. But I think those statements are careless.
They're careless. Okay. Now, what about these? Because Fani Kaude again tweeted that apparently, I think it's high time, or he thinks it's high time they started or they floated a new party and leave that party for Ali Modu Sheriff. What do you think? If they float a new party, is it going to have weight and maybe take over?
For a party to have national spread, you need to have, structures in all the nooks and crannies of the country. There are 774 local governments, and within a local government you could find as many as 10, 12 wards there. So firstly, for you to think of having presence in the nooks and crannies, and take some time, costs money, and apart from that, you know, I mean, they could form political, I mean, they could form another, I mean, they could have another platform. But the point is, are Nigerians willing and ready to go with them? You know, that is the point. Now, with the electoral act, you know, as amended, political parties are meant to have been done with their party nomination 6 months to elections.
Yes.
So ordinarily, before the end of 2018, I mean, parties must have taken this decision. Is it a party that is just taking themselves to the Supreme Court now, that they are not sure of how long, you know, and the way of the decision of the Apex Court is going to be? At what point, you know, will they begin to call themselves together? At what point, you know? So I think, you know, but I mean, I'm not a member of the PDP. You know, their problem should not concern me as such. You know, I wish them well.
But they will say the problem will concern you, because if they have a problem in the PDP, because we've been seeing a lot of people now that were founding members of the PDP at the national level crossing into the APC. Later, won't it be the problem of the APC?
Well, you know, we have our own ideologies in the APC, you know. So irrespective of who you are, you know, you need to follow the laid down principles, ideologies of our party. Of course, those that have been national leaders would interact at some levels with our leaders.
Yes.
You know, but of course, I do not want to believe that what you are insinuating is that those coming into the party will hijack the party machinery.
No,
that is not likely.
Not hijack,
because the party is much bigger than, you know. We've had a gale of defection to the party lately, you know, and partly because of what they are seeing, you know, is, I mean, happening within the fold of the opposition.
Okay, let me rephrase it, really. Because if you have this perception that these, the other party, maybe the PDP then, the way it's run Nigeria, we have these skirmishes, we have corruption here and there. If they move into the APC, would they not continue with what they were doing? And would that not put a stain on your white linen as a party, if you get what I mean? A party that is seen to be doing well.
You know, as for the party, you know, it is politicking. As for government, and I mean, as for the government and governance, you know, I mean, so you should be able to separate governance from the party. Of course, members of the party get appointments into government, no doubt.
Yes.
But of course, depending on the principles of the party and the person of the president, I'm sure we know ourselves. I mean, the choice of people that will form government, I'm sure the party will advise rightly as to the, you know, and of course, even those appointed in government, you know, I mean, like what happened with this present government, security check was carried out on some of the appointees of government before their names were even sent. You know, most of those we have serving today were cleared by the DSS.
Okay.
You understand?
To see if there are no skeletons in their cupboard.
You understand?
Can I quickly take a call from, is that number of states? IK. I lost that call. Sorry about that, IK. Try and call back, okay? Okay. So, are you saying all these ones, we will screen them or we'll scrutinize them?
Definitely. I mean, the party structure is there to, I mean, to do what is right, you know, to decampaign, you know. And then, of course, like I said earlier, they are free to come, you know. they are free to come. I mean, but for you to say you want to join a political party, I think it's just right and proper for you to have seen yourself as someone that can conform rightly, you know, in your newfound love. Of course, you know, you need to drop some of those habits.
Yes, that's what I was going to.
You know, that you had from where you are coming from. If not, you won't be, I mean, you will not fit in properly. And of course, I mean, you can be easily identified.
Okay. Okay.
So it is, you know, again, the issue of corruption, you know, has to do with the institutions that we have. We've ever had the EFCC, we've ever had the ICPC, we've ever had the CCB.
But it's the political
will. But do they have the political will
to do it?
To do what is right?
I have a call from Jos. Good afternoon. Mark, are you there?
Mark, yeah.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon.
Your contribution, please.
Yeah. Please, I want to ask the man on the screening.
Honorable Abiru.
Good morning or afternoon, as whatsoever it may be the time.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Yeah, my contribution is that the man seated by your side,
yes,
I think he's not a politician.
You think
He is not a politician, because if he is a politician, he should understand that in Nigeria we're not playing politics. Because we cross carpet from one political party to another party. That is not the ideology of politics, of democracy, in the standard organization of politics in Africa or in the world. Because if there is wrong in your party, you don't jump to another party. You have to wait there. So to him, he's talking because he's on the platform of APC, and that is why he's condemning PDP, that they cannot roll back again. That is not the ideology in politics. Anybody who knows from the president down to the least person in this country, he should know we are not on the platform of politics. So we should not deceive ourselves. He doesn't even know politics. That is to start with.
Mark, can you do me a favor? If you want to if you want to contribute. Don't attack my guest, okay? Is that taken? All right, thank you so much. And because I thought Mark was you said you're not a politician, and he said we're not running politics in Nigeria. So I think he's contradicting himself already. Or what do you think? Do you want to respond to that?
Well, he has the right to hold his views.
Okay.
But the truth of the matter is, APC had been in opposition for 16 years.
No, PDP.
I mean, APC.
Okay, APC.
We had been in opposition. Nationally.
Better.
For 16 years.
Yes.
I mean, we stood by our party. We did not cross carpet because of that. Because we believed in ourselves. We believed that, that at some point, you know, with the direction that the PDP was going, that Nigerians were going to vote them out at some point.
And you had people like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu staying in the opposition for a long time.
At some time, you know, at some point, we had just one governor.
Yes.
From the Southwest here.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that didn't make us. At some point, even in the southwestern states, we were in the opposition. But we stood. We did not cross carpet because of that. Now, PDP has just been in opposition for 2 years. And look at what is happening.
I lost this call the last time. Evelyn is calling back. Evelyn is calling from Lagos. Good afternoon, Evelyn.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine.
All right. Your contribution, please.
My contribution is that man that is speaking, we are not playing politics.
No, you mean Honorable Abiru?
In Nigeria is that people, we are not saying about APC or PDP.
Okay.
Because even the PDP, when they are in power, things are better. Now things are worse. People are dying of hunger. You are telling us about which party we are going to vote for. We are not going to vote for any party that cannot take care of the people in the country.
Okay. Do you think the APC is starving the people, or what's your argument?
What
do you think the APC is starving the people, or what's the argument?
my own is that they said, the man said that they will not vote for PDP.
Okay.
I myself will vote for PDP because they take care of people when they were in power than now.
Okay.
Even corruption they are talking of. Everybody is corrupt, even PDP and APC.
So you prefer people just to be corrupt and they should take care of the people, Abi?
This one, they're not corrupt. They are corrupt too.
If you have evidences. Thank you so much, Evelyn.
People are dying of.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. The people are dying of hunger.
You see, I appreciate her sentiments, you know. Yes, things are quite tight in the country today, no doubt. You know, but what people should understand is the fact that it is still the effect of bad governance of yesterday that is manifesting now.
So practically, this is not the fault of the APC.
You know, but of course, it does not mean that we're also a perfect government.
Yes.
You know, but it is for Nigerians to appreciate that the rot of 16 years cannot be cured in just 2 years. And that is just the plain truth.
But they said the people are hungry. I hope the president and the leader of the economic team are talking about the vice president. They're feeling the people because they should be looking for solutions ASAP, as soon as possible. Do you think they're looking for solutions?
Definitely, government has been doing some interventionist programs, you know. But of course, government alone cannot provide for the people.
Okay.
I agree, it is for government to create an enabling environment for business to thrive.
Okay. Can I quickly take Solomon from Kaduna? Good afternoon, Solomon. Oh, Jonathan, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How are you?
We thank God, sir.
All right, and your contribution, please.
I want to contribute about what your guest is saying. Please,
okay.
We need to say also, we need to tell ourselves the truth.
Okay.
We are talking about corruption. Yeah, I agree. But the corruption that we are seeing now in APC is more than PDP. Please, things is not going fine. We need to tell ourselves the truth.
The corruption in APC is more than PDP.
I'm enjoying PDP more than this because I'm telling you, things is hard.
No, you're saying two things. You are saying, Jonathan, can I come in, please? You are saying two things. You said you enjoy a PDP more than APC. Are you saying APC is more corrupt than the PDP? Do you have evidence for that?
I have the evidence.
Okay, can you give me or give us?
How much, day before yesterday, how much the president is going to budget his tire for bulletproof tire? How much? Thing is not going in the country. People are suffering. It's going to budget about 90-something million. How much is feeding for the things in their house? Please, we need to tell ourselves the truth. APC is not doing anything. Thing is not going. I'm telling you, we vote for APC, but we are telling you we are changing. Example, in Southern Kaduna, no more APC in Southern Kaduna because thing is not going. Thing is not moving. How much is the price of fuel? How much is the price of rice? How much is the price of everything? You are saying thing is going. You are saying you are planning for good things. Nothing is moving in this country. Tell us ourselves the truth. From the president, you are saying that when you go to president, you are going to stay on the hospital in this country. But the president is not here. Even healthcare is stopping him. He's not in this country. Please tell ourselves the truth. Because the hungry man, the hunger, the poor man is hungry. At the last in 2019, we showed them what we showed the PDP in 2019. Thank you much.
All right, thank you so much. A very angry Jonathan there. If you get what I mean, sure you feel the pulse of the people. I hope the president and the vice president is feeling this pulse also, and they need to do something very, very soon. What do you think?
Well, I agree.
And they mentioned the budgeting so much millions to buy bulletproof tires as his evidence. One of his evidence.
Well, I could say a few things to that, you know, because I do not have
the figures.
I mean, those figures as statements of fact. But the fact is, a budget of government is an estimate. You know, no budget ever performs 100% at the end of the year.
So until when it's passed, that's when people can say,
you know, it is when money is expended on a particular head.
Yes, that's what we can
argue.
know.
And of course, the legislature is the arm of government that has power to oversight.
So they have a job. They have a big job to do.
You know, on the executive.
Okay. All right, then, because we need to round up now. Because I know you're not the spokesperson of the APC, and it's not the easy task sitting on the hot seat today. But as we round up, do you have a message for the people? A message of hope, really?
Well, I share the sentiments of the poor masses of, in the country. You know, we also feel this pain. You know, the recession in which the country is not peculiar to us. You know, and then what has majorly caused, where we are, is the dependence, is government's dependence, you know, on oil. You know, whose price, the price has actually gone down globally. So most countries that rely on oil are in this problem. But those that are not feeling the way we are feeling it are those governments that planned before, you know, for periods like this. We didn't plan. And that's part of the issue here. You know, and of course, the government has actually, is actually trying to encourage, you know, some other sectors of the economy.
But how soon are we going to, because we need to go, how soon are we going to?
And a lot is being done, particularly in the area of agriculture.
Okay, all right then.
You know, and it is for us to, as a people too, you know, to actually see what best we can do to support the government of Nigeria.
All right, wonderful. Honorable Lateef Rotimi Abiru, Chief Whip of the Lagos State House of Assembly, representing Shomolu Constituency 2, and also the Chairman, Ethics, Privileges and Protocols. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr.
And for those that have called, really appreciate you, and that is much time will permit us on the show today. And next week is another time to be with you again. Do make it a date then. Do have a beautiful weekend, and God bless Nigeria. I am Dakbo Aruwajoy. Bye for now.